Hey folks, this here is, well, this is my buddy Beau Baty, and this is our really good buddy Marshall.
Hey, buddy.
Beau owns, is it Wilderness Ridge Trail Llamas?
Yep.
And he brought in Marshall and 6 of Marshall's friends for this elk hunt. And you saw our camera guy Marcus shoot a bull this morning, and Marshall's gonna pack him out. I told Beau, I know nothing about horses, and he got a smile. I said, I need something that's low maintenance. He got a bigger smile.
Yep.
And I need something that maybe 2 of them could carry out a whole elk. And he got a really big smile.
Like
and
this.
Then he said, have I got the deal for you? So I'm just gonna ask Beau some questions. They're questions I've had all along, and I think you as listeners are gonna get a lot of benefit from this, because if I had to, I'll even roll back 48 hours ago when we're walking in here. Beau says, Randy, what are you thinking about? I said, I'm thinking that my backcountry elk hunting career just got extended by 15 years. So many places that I've started crossing off the map. This place, I would never come and hunt without this arrangement. We are 1,000 yards from a wilderness area. We are way back in here, and we've brought a luxurious camp by all backcountry standards.
Yeah.
And if we shoot elk back here, like Marcus has shot an elk, packing it out for 7 or 8 miles, doing that as a double trip, no, these places get crossed off my map. But now, Beau and Marshall and Doc and Rio and all of them,
Yep.
they have my mind spinning about, all right, I'm doing backcountry elk hunting until I'm way beyond what my old marker used to be. So everyone's gonna ask, Beau, are they a lot of maintenance? What I've seen, they're not, but.
Well, I think you got some comparisons. It's all about perspective. Are they more maintenance than ultralight backpacking type hunt? Yes. Are they less maintenance than a string of horses or mules? Yes.
Yeah.
You know, so as far as low maintenance, you know, you guys have kind of seen what it takes. Some time in the morning and some time in the afternoon, and we've had some harsh conditions, so I moved them around here and there. In the last 3 days, all 7 llamas have drank about a gallon of water, and they've been picking out the snow. And so as far as, you know, feed and things like that, they're much less maintenance than you would expect.
Yeah.
For the size of animal they are.
Right. Food, I've seen them eating just about anything that's out here on the mountain. It seems like they will eat.
Yep. They've ate sagebrush, pine, you know, needles, bark, obviously the good grass and forbs up here, and yeah.
Yeah. And you bring a little bit of food with them.
Yeah.
But not like when I see guys with horses, they are bringing a lot of food just for the horses.
Yeah, we brought in 25 pounds for 7 llamas for, you know, the 5 days, 6 days. And we just knew that I brought the feed in because I knew there was going to be a lot of snow, and I didn't know how much.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to bring in a little bit for them just in case.
Okay. The next question everyone's going to have is, how much can Marshall carry?
So we're about to pack out this full elk on 2 llamas, you know, every piece of meat and the antlers. And I expect, you know, each one of these guys will be carrying about 90 pounds, 80, 90 pounds,
Okay.
which is very average for them. If we shoot another elk, if you shoot your elk, and we've got to pack out our camp plus 2 elk, the guys will be loaded 90 to 100.
Okay.
But the rule of thumb, 70 to 80 is kind of what that's kind of the bar. That's kind of the standard.
Okay. You've made it pretty clear to us that there are different types of llamas.
Right.
Going and buying a llama down at some place is not going to get you someone like Marshall.
Right, yeah, Marshall already has 400 miles on the season. You know, it's September 20th, and he'll go do another 250, 300 by the end of the year. And, you know, he'll do lots of 6 to 12 miles a day, 70 to 85 pounds payload. And so finding a llama that can do that is hard to do.
Yeah.
And so I always tell people that not every llama is a pack llama. However, you can get llamas, a lot of llamas, to kind of go and do the minimum requirement, 3 to 4 miles, 40 to 60 pounds. for a day, maybe 2 or 3. And these guys are bred to pack. You know, the Inca bred them for 6,000 years. You talking to the camera too, Marshall? Good boy.
So they're indigenous to the Andes of
Yep,
South America.
Yep, around 14,000 feet. And you know, you can go into the history and actually see, digging deeper, but you know, for a quick glance, saying that they're indigenous to the Andes is pretty accurate.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm looking at you had them tied up here most of the day. It looks like it's pretty simple. You've tied them off to a place where they can rest if they want, they can stand, they can just browse and feed.
Yep.
No special requirements for them.
Yeah, you know, and the unique thing to think about, I think, is we're sitting here, and from this spot we could shoot elk, or I guess you could shoot an elk, and you wouldn't necessarily do that with a lot of livestock.
Right.
Have them with you just because of the noise factor, you
Right.
know, rustling about and, you know, whinnying or something like that. And these guys are, this is about as loud as they get, that little whine that he's doing here.
Yeah.
He's being compliant, but he really doesn't want to. Somebody.
Well, this morning when Marcus shot his bull, these guys weren't very far away. They were off to our left. He didn't hear any stomping or jumping or thrashing.
No, I looked over at them and they were still both feeding. They didn't even lift up their heads. I'm a big guy.
And how do they handle when bears, livestock, ATVs, other stuff that you see along the trail?
Yeah, so during our summer outfitting, we see a lot of that. Bikes, motorcycles, four-wheelers coming up on the trail and stuff like that. And they do really well, you know, they're conditioned to it.
The other day, a moo cow came walking into our camp, and these guys were sounding an alarm.
Yep.
Is that just
That's very
social thing with them?
So the 2 llamas that sounded alarm are young, very young llamas. Both, one's a 4-year-old and one's a 3-year-old. They're not used to it. They're not for sure what's going on.
Okay.
And so if a bear were to come in, they would do the same.
Yeah.
And so with predators, you'll hear that alarm call, which is good. If you got the llamas around your camp at night and a predator comes in, they'll warn you with that alarm call.
Okay.
And typically the young llamas do that with cows too.
So are they usually this docile?
You know,
We've not seen any of them pitch a fit in the time we've been here.
I would say the natural instinct of a llama is not necessarily to be extremely docile, but a well-trained animal, no matter what it is, I think can be. You've seen dogs that are not well-trained and dogs that are,
Yeah.
and it's 2 different worlds.
Yeah.
Well, there's llamas that are well-trained and llamas that are not well-trained.
Okay.
And these are guys that are obviously all well-trained. They spend, you know, Marcel's bumping that 2,000 mile mark in his career. And once they get about 500, they really know the drill.
Yeah. And then you were telling me the other day that their front shoulder is where most of their muscle and energy comes from. The back, not quite as much. So it makes a difference in when they're going downhill or uphill.
Yeah, so the back needs to be powerful for the idea of locomotion, you know, to be able to propel forward. And then the front end needs to be really strong and well balanced, and then the muscling needs to be tied in well, because they balance 67% of their body weight on the front 2 legs. And that's why they've got these big long necks to serve as a counterbalance.
Oh, okay.
And so when going downhill, all that weight, both their body weight and the pack weight, you know, almost 70% is sitting on that front end.
Right.
So going downhill is harder for them than going uphill. And that's why when we're breeding llamas, we select llamas that have really good big front ends.
So for them to be out on an 8-day trip, 10-day
Yeah.
trip.
Yeah, Doc just came off of a 25-day trip. Another llama we have, Tokyo, just came off a 500-mile trip in 6 different mountain ranges in Idaho. And so he's, and then one of the other llamas just did just over 40 days in the Wind Rivers into the Grove in Wyoming. So those guys one of them had a day of rest, one had 2, and then one had 4 or 5, and then they came on this trip.
Well, you hunt a lot yourself, though. I mean,
Yeah.
You are a serious backcountry hunter. Are there any bits or pieces you'd want to leave the viewers with about why they should think about llamas?
You know, I've always said that llamas, somebody asked me that same question a long time ago, and I said they allow you to stay longer, hunt harder, and go farther. And that's what I wanted to do.
That's what you want to do when you're hunting.
Yeah, and So llamas really just enable you to do a lot more that you couldn't do. And I really like to explore. I kind of an adventure hunter. So I look at this mountain range and I say, I just got to go see that.
Yeah.
If it holds game, great. And so llamas allow me to go there, and if we harvest something, whether it's a day hike in or 2 days hike in, you know, allows us to go in, have a great hunt, and no matter the weather conditions, and come out.
Right.
And keep our ethics, you know, in check.
Yeah.
And be able to get elk out in these remote places
Without any worry. of
without any worry of
spoilage.
spoilage. Yep.
Yeah. Thanks, Beau. Can't thank you enough.
Thank you, Randy.
This has been a game changer.